Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, a big welcome to you. When my mom was alive, one of her favorite cakes was German chocolate cake. And so today, I'm going to show you how to make a super easy, keto-friendly German chocolate cake with that delicious coconut pecan frosting that makes a German chocolate cake. And if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out a new video. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using my Amazon affiliate link, a small portion will go to me and will help to support the channel. So, anytime you want to purchase anything on Amazon, make sure you remember me, use my affiliate link, and a small portion of whatever you purchase will go to me and help support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line an 8 by 8 inch cake pan with parchment paper. Allow the parchment paper to hang over the sides slightly because you'll be using this for handles to lift your cake out once it's cooled. In a large mixer bowl, combine a half cup of coconut flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of monk fruit sweetener or granulated sweetener of your choice, and 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. Sift or whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the cocoa powder or the coconut flour. Add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature. They beat in a lot smoother that way. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just enough to moisten the dry ingredients. Then increase your speed to medium-low and beat on medium-low until everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to. Add a half cup of room temperature butter that's slightly softened. Make sure it's just softened, not melted. Beat on low for about 10 seconds, just enough to start breaking up the butter a little bit. Then increase the speed to medium and beat on medium for about another 30 seconds or until the butter is completely combined with the other ingredients. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again if you need to. Add 1/4 cup of room temperature milk of your choice. Again, make sure the milk is room temperature. Makes for a smoother batter, which makes for a more moist cake. Beat on low once again for about another 10 seconds or so, or just until the milk is starting to combine with the other ingredients. Then increase the speed to medium and beat on medium again for about 30 seconds or just until everything is completely combined and smooth. Again, scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to. Then gradually add in another 1/4 cup of room temperature milk of your choice. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and beat it in on medium for about 30 seconds or until it's combined and the batter is light and creamy. Now, the amount of milk that you need in this recipe depends on the type of flour you have. When it comes to coconut flour, the liquid to flour ratio can vary just slightly depending on your brand of coconut flour. Some coconut flour is more coarse, which requires a little bit more moisture. Other coconut flours are more fine, which require a little bit less moisture. I use Anthony's organic coconut flour, and so it's kind of somewhere in between. It's not super coarse, but not super fine. So adding the extra 1/4 cup for a total of a half cup of milk is perfect for mine, and most likely will be perfect for most coconut flours, but just make sure you keep an eye on the texture of your batter. You're looking for it to be light, smooth, and creamy. It should be a nice creamy batter. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again and push all the batter to the center of the bowl. Then scoop the batter into the prepared cake pan and use a spatula to evenly spread the batter throughout the bottom of the cake pan. Make sure you do try to get this as even as possible. You don't want one side getting baked and the other side not cooked all the way through, so make sure you try to spread the batter as even as possible. Once the batter is all spread, place it in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until a tester comes out clean. For me, 30 minutes was perfect. As I always say, everyone's oven is different, so you're looking for it to be just very slightly darkened around the edges, and a tester or a toothpick, when it's put into the center, it should come out clean. There should not be any batter on the tester. Once it's done baking, remove it from the oven. It will still be soft because it is a gluten-free recipe, but it will firm up as it cools. Allow it to cool in the pan for about 1 hour or until it's mostly room temperature and has firmed up to where it can be easily transferred from the pan. Once the cake has cooled and it's firmed up, grasp the overhanging parchment paper and carefully lift the cake out of the pan and transfer it to a wire rack so it can cool completely. You do want to make sure that it is cooled completely before you frost it. For the frosting, in a medium saucepan over medium heat, combine a ½ cup of golden monk fruit or brown sugar sweetener of your choice, a ½ cup of half and half or coconut milk, a 1/4 cup of butter, and 2 large eggs that have been beaten together. You do want these to be beaten before you add them into your pan. That way they mix in a whole lot easier. So before you add them, just crack them in a bowl, use a fork, and beat them together just until the yolks are broken up and combined. Stir these together to fully combine them. Then stir continuously over medium heat until the mixture is smooth and it just starts to bubble. Should be about 5 to 7 minutes. What you're looking for is for the butter to be completely melted. You want to make sure the sweetener has completely dissolved and the mixture is just starting to bubble and get slightly thick. Also, make sure you do stir this continuously, otherwise you will end up with sweet scrambled eggs, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for a smooth texture. Once the mixture is just starting to bubble and everything is completely combined and smooth, remove it from the heat and fold in a ½ cup of coconut flakes, more or less depending on how much coconut you want in your frosting. You can also use shredded coconut if you prefer smaller pieces of coconut rather than the flakes. I'm using the flakes. Add a ½ cup of chopped pecans and stir them in until they're fully coated with the mixture. Now, if you are allergic to nuts of any kind, instead of the chopped pecans, you can use crushed plain pork rinds, or you can use crushed keto pretzels to give you that little bit of a crunch in the frosting. Or you can leave them out completely and just have the coconut. It still tastes good like that too. The nuts just give it a little bit more bulk to the frosting. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir it in until everything is fully combined. Make sure that the coconut flakes and the pecans or the pecan substitute that you're using, make sure they are fully coated and evenly distributed in the frosting. Once everything's fully combined, allow it to cool in the pan for about 30 minutes or until it comes to room temperature. Once the frosting has cooled for 30 minutes, give it a little bit of a stir just to make sure that everything is fully combined and smooth and that the frosting has thickened up just a little bit. Then spread the frosting evenly over the top of your cake. Make sure your cake has cooled completely before you put the frosting on it. Once your cake is all frosted, you can eat it immediately. Just cut your desired piece, place it on a plate. If you do have any leftovers, store it in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 5 days. Eat and enjoy.
And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button. You can leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.